Another rainy day here in Bali. We're stuck inside, but we're gonna make the best of it and, crank out a YouTube video. So here we go. This is a video on why it is so important to be able to trade less and why it is so important to be able to sit on your hands. I know last year I would try to force setups in piss poor conditions. I would overtrade, I would revenge trade, and it just does you no favors. And the reason I'm making this video now is because yesterday was the perfect example of a day that would have chewed me up. So going into yesterday, first off, let's look at the higher time frame here. So what I did was I marked up this high inside of a fair value gap. We have a huge bearish 15-minute. We have a high inside of the 15-minute. And these are great liquidity pools. This is a great point to look for a reversal. So I have that marked up. And on the 15-minute, I also acknowledge that we have low resistance liquidity down there. And we also have a beautiful set of three equal lows down here. It doesn't get any more free than this. This is so obvious to me. So this was the target. And on the higher time frame, the draw, in my opinion, was also bearish because we have this LRLR. My camera's about to die. Let me just plug that puppy in. Still not charging. There we go. Anyway, so what I did was I waited for a short opportunity, and that's what we got. So we sweep the high inside of the 15-minute gap, and as soon as we take that high, I start looking for reversals. We finally get the reversal here. So we have a bullish fair value gap. We use it as support and then we break through it. This to me indicates that price is going to want to go lower. And then on top of that, we have a beautiful liquidity pool down here being the three equal lows. So there's a lot of stop losses resting there. Price 9 times out of 10, I can promise you, will sweep those lows. The fact that we didn't take these lows is insane, and also an indication that price action is probably going to be ass. This setup was squeaky clean. The fact that we didn't take these equal lows and then just simply reversed is the only indication I need to sit on my ass and not try to force any more setups. If the cleanest setup of the day didn't work out, then why are you going to try to force anything else? And this took me forever to learn, and I still need to practice this a little bit because occasionally I might have a day where I blow up. Maybe it might happen once every month, once every 2 months. I'm not a guru. I'm not some sort of mentor. I still have a long way to go myself, but I have improved a lot. So the fact that we didn't take these equal lows down here is enough of an indication to tell me, hey, price action today is probably going to be shit, and I should probably sit on my hands and not trade. And I think that is one of the most important things you can learn as a beginner trader. And that is when to sit out of bad price action, how to acknowledge bad price action, and just how to stay out of, mediocre setups. If you can master this, you'll be fine. But if you are stuck trying to convince yourself that shitty setups are better than they really are, and if you are, still revenge trading and taking 5 or 6 setups a day, you are going to continue to get cooked in the market. I can promise you. I can promise you that less is more. All you need is 2 or 3 good setups a week, and you can capture 40, 50 points. If you're trading one full contract and you capture 2 25-point trades a week, you're making $1,000. I mean, that's pretty good. And on top of that, you are just preserving your mental capital by staying out of choppy price conditions and avoiding taking, shitty setups that you shouldn't be taking, but you take anyway. So this is sort of what I've been working on over the past year, and it's obviously a lot easier said than done, but I can promise you that if you trade less, this process will become a lot easier for you, a lot less stressful, and it's just a great way to maintain your mental capital. When I was revenge trading, or for example, getting married to the bias, like last year, for example, this liquidity pool down here and this liquidity pool down here, these seem so free to me 6 months or a year ago, I would have just tried to take any little setup I saw to these lows. So for example, if we inverse this fair value gap here, I'm in short. It's not the cleanest setup, but I don't care just because I'm so married to the bias. And I would just get chewed up, frustrated, and then I would take a loss on a trade that I shouldn't have taken, and I would get frustrated and then say, okay, I need to make that back. And it's just a horrible negative feedback loop that's never ending. And the best way to get out of that is just by simply taking only those A plus setups and trying your best to avoid shitty price action. So that is what me and Sven have been working on. Again, easier said than done, but trading is all about patience, discipline, and preserving your mental capital. All you need is 2 or 3 good setups a week, man. And those setups will come if you are patient and just able to sit on your hands. So my advice to you, and what has worked for me in the past, is if price action looks like it's choppy, if price action is not clean, if you don't have a very obvious bias for the day, just simply sit on your hands and don't try to force anything, and you will thank yourself for it. I promise.